Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video, I want to take a look at the Cardano price and why it dropped again below $3. Want to look for some answers for that, and we take a look at the Bitcoin price as well. And we want to take about on some on-chain data and talk about who actually is responsible for that purchase and that boost above $3. Now, before we start, thanks again for all the positive comments and the likes. Really appreciate it. Please continue that if you like the content. Also, if you like technical analysis and if you want to learn about that, check my second channel out on which I teach technical analysis completely free. I also use the Cardano chart normally to teach it. So if you're interested in crypto and technical analysis, check that link out in the video description. What else? Nothing. Let's start and take a look at some on-chain data. I wanted to talk about who actually bought all these ADA and who actually made that boost above $3 happen. And you can then decide if you think it was market manipulation or not, because I don't have another explanation for it. So what we can see is these addresses here that own more than 1 million ADA. So the addresses that own more than 1 million ADA, you can see that a few days ago that boost started and we had a pump here. And you can't maybe see it that well, but I can clearly see in that range here, that boost where we've seen these addresses, there's suddenly an inflow of ADA to addresses that own more than 1 million ADA. Yeah, so I just want to mention that people could argue that this was a pump to bring the price above $3 and then maybe dump it again to make a bit of profit. Guys, I just want to mention it. You can come to your own conclusions, but someone who knows how to manipulate markets could have done that, could have purchased a lot of ADA, boosted the price above $3. A lot of people come in panic, buying FOMO, and then at the price, when the price reached $3.10, these people might have sold it and caused another price drop. That's how you do manipulation, and I don't want to say that happened, but I say it's an option, and you can come to your own conclusions. But otherwise, I don't see a reason why, suddenly we should see that purchase at that price, that boost in purchases of addresses that already own more than 1 million ADA. I mean, yes, of course, everybody likes ADA, but you can particularly see that boost in these addresses that own more than 1 million ADA. You can't see it you can't see that particular boost at the addresses that own less ADA. So just wanted to mention that. However, we had good news. I mean, smart contracts are now running on the testnet, so that's obviously all very positive. Now, another reason why the price dropped is Bitcoin, and we can take a look at the Bitcoin price. I want to go back to the 4-hour chart. We can see a very nice double bottom here, which is actually a bullish pattern. So we can see one bottom here, another bottom W shape, double bottom. What we can see, however, and I talked to you about that in the earlier video today, that we need to get above the 50,500. That's a crucial resistance line that we need to get through in order to continue that uptrend that we had. As you can see, we are now in a horizontal move. Yeah, so we've bounced off that horizontal resistance line, which is exactly the 50,500. So we need to get above that. So you can watch that. What I don't want us to do is drop again below 46,500. If we do that, then we are making a new low. Yeah. So after that W pattern here, we don't want to break to the downside. If we do, then we break an important support level, and then we could really drop down to something like 44 or 42,500. So just be aware of that. As long as we are in this upward move, we don't drop below the 48,500 level, which you can see here on the Fibonacci retracement levels. As long as that is the case, I think we could see that particular possibly here that boost play out as a bull flag, so a bullish pattern. Could then just be a short retracement that we currently see after that boost. Looks like a bull flag at the moment, so a flagpole and then a small descending channel, which would indicate another move to the upside. So this is just a pause of that uptrend, and in the grand scheme of things, we are still in an uptrend if we look at all the moving averages, which is good. What we need to be aware of, we shouldn't drop below that 48,500. If we do that, then I think it's not a bull flag anymore. Typically, these don't play out if they drop below 50%, and that would be the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. They still can, but it gets less likely. And again, I don't want to see us dropping below 46,500. So please watch that level as well. If that happens, we could drop a little bit further. Right, but if we get through the 50,500, we can clearly move to 52,000, which could then boost ADA again to the upside. Now, what I wanted to show you here again on the 4-hour chart of Cardano, of ADA, that we are now, we actually hit that Fibonacci level, extension level. It was before of $3.10. I talked about that earlier today, and we need to, if you want to see that again, I think I started down here. That was the previous pump, and we draw these Fibonacci levels to that recent high. Well, it's better if I just delete it again and do it again. So 1 second, just gonna delete that. And then we just go to the previous move to the upside, because we saw this extension level play out then. So from there to here, and then and then we had that target here of 307, and we pretty much got there. So we hit that sort of target level here. I think it's close enough to that 307 level. That's where these candles closed, or this candle closed, this candle opened. We even tried to get to the 312 level, sort of bounced off, didn't quite get there. Now we're retracing back. And if we now draw these Fibonacci levels at the most recent pump, well, we actually should do it for the most recent pump to see where could we retrace to. And if the price action respects these Fibonacci levels, then yes, we can see that we're now dropping back to the 292 level, which is exactly the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, which is pretty much, again, like the level that you would expect after such a pump. We could also drop to 288. It doesn't happen that often, but if we go below 288, I think that pump is more difficult to continue. As long as we go to the upside again now, we should be able to continue. However, we dropped into that support or resistance zone here that is between 292 and 297. So exactly the 292 level is where we now bounced off. Yeah, so you can clearly see that we're now back at nearly 295 again. And obviously a good sign that we moved beyond $3. Really nice. We don't do that in a downtrending market, so we're clearly in an uptrend. We know that all the moving averages are pointing to the upside. What I wanted to talk to you about, what I don't want us to see is these certain levels that we shouldn't get below, and these levels are certainly, in the first instance, this 292 level, because the 292 is really what we struggled with before. This is here, we bounced off. That is really that level where we enter this support or resistance zone, depending on from which perspective you watch. And if we drop below that, we shouldn't drop below ideally 288, because that is the 0.682 Fibonacci retracement of the latest pump. However, what we have then is this 281 level here currently. If we drop below 281, we'll get into this descending triangle again, which wouldn't be good. We finally broke out, so we don't want to get in again. And should we drop below 271 or 270, then we probably drop further. I think that 270 level is comparable with Bitcoins. We just looked at it with Bitcoins 46,500. If we drop below these levels, we're looking at a downtrend, but at the moment it's all looking good. I mean, we just made a new all-time high. Small retracement now only at the moment, which is good. So this is healthy after such a pump, and we want that to continue to the upside. At the moment, it's looking likely. That support zone seems to be providing support. So I wouldn't be worried that we drop below $3. I would be a little bit more worried if we drop below the 292 again, and it doesn't seem likely at the moment. I mean, it can always happen, but it seems to provide some support. And certainly what I would like us to see, that the daily candle closes at least above 292. We can see, however, if we look at the daily, that it becomes very clear that the upper shadow is very long. There was a strong the sellers were quite strong at that level. So I want us to go higher, because if we don't really see a new high, do we? We made one today, but the daily candle, if that doesn't close in a new high, then actually we're just continuing that sideways movement, which wouldn't be ideal. And you know, I'm not pumping Cardano on this channel. We just want to be honest. Cardano is my biggest holding, but we just want to be honest. And I talked about possible market manipulation earlier, and we don't want to forget that. It is certainly a possibility. And what we want to be aware of is also a lot of people now coming into the market who don't know what they're doing. If we have comments that ask, you know, where to buy Cardano, I mean, honestly, you need to educate yourself about crypto first because it's a high risk investment. I mean, I can't give financial advice here, but you need to know where you buy crypto before you jump in and buy something like Cardano. You want to know that before, because otherwise you are at risk with your investment, because then you could just buy at an all-time high and you sell in panic when the price drops a little bit. You need to know about this project, otherwise you will sell in panic. This is not for the quick money. This is long-term investment, or if you know how trading works, you can obviously make some money with trading, but not just jump in and without a clue. I think that's dangerous. What we can see is also a nice uptrend here, which seems to provide some support here as well. So we can connect that to that candle, to these candles here, see a nice uptrend now actually. That has formed now with these latest two candles, yesterday and today. That's very nice to see, as long as we trade within that channel here. That will take us to new highs. So just want to make you aware of that. That's obviously daily. We always usually have a look at the shorter time frames, but from time to time also on the longer time frames, because to be honest, according to the Dow theory, if you know that, probably not, maybe you've heard about it, the Dow theory, according to that, we've got various various trend levels here, which is the primary trend is always the longer term trend. That is more important than the shorter term time frames. And if you have a long-term trend that is going up, but for example, on the hourly it's going down, that is not that significant as long as the primary trend is to the upside and it looks like that. And that is the main thing here. It also doesn't seem to slow down at the moment. If it continues like that, then we don't really have a slowing down momentum if that continues like that on this range here. So I think in general, really good news. We made a new all-time high. Don't forget it. Don't get frustrated if the price is now below $3. That's normal. We are still above that 292 level, which was so hard to get through. And yes, hopefully Bitcoin will recover a little bit. Obviously, it bounced off the 50,500. We want this to continue, maybe drop to 48,500 again, as I showed you, the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level of that latest pump. And then we could hopefully give another go at the 50,500 and maybe get through. That would be an ideal scenario for Cardano to get again above $3. Don't forget, if we have dips like that, it might be a good opportunity to buy, depending on, you know, your individual circumstances. But for me, it is. I'm continuously adding to my portfolio anyway. All right, so hopefully you liked that video. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.